y'all. I'm glad y'all decided to come on over here. I was saying, I was saying that when I was over there on that side, I was saying, I no, I got all four of them going. I was saying, y'all make sure y'all come because the majority of y'all know when I say, let's go to the other side. We just say it in codes where the okay, so put it like this. Maybe about out of 100 of y'all, 86 to 96% of y'all know what we be talking about when we say we going to the other side. So y'all know what it comes to. I'm doing all right. Thank you for asking. Um, she's doing all right. I'm not gonna complain. I'm not gonna complain. She have a good days and bad days, but I definitely thank you for asking about her though. She have a good days and bad days. I am trying. I am trying. The No, actually, I got. I'm gonna show you because we gonna when we get off in here, we gonna go back to the other side. It's like how we did the other time. Look, y'all, I am so glad and I am so thankful of the decision that I made. I mean, and honestly, you know what? Honestly, I had a friend that tell me, and she's an older lady, the older lady that you see me with. She told me years ago, years ago, and when she told me about this decision, I looked at her and I argued her down. I didn't disrespect her because that's one thing that I don't do. And anybody that know me, and I don't have to think and prove to nobody. Anybody that knows me, know me. I don't, I don't, look, I'm gonna tell you something. My sister, my oldest sister, I love my oldest sister to the moon and back. And, you know, every family gonna fuss and fight. So when me and my sister, we had like one little, I mean, in the argument that me and my sister had, it wasn't even about nothing. But you know how some people just try to make it seem like it's more than what it is. And we had family members that try to make it seem like it was more than what it was. And then we had outsiders looking on the inside trying to make it seem like it was more than what it was. But me and my sister, we in a good space. We get along. We talk every day. We talk 2 and 3 times every day. We see each other and everything. We go out a lot. So just because you see what you see don't mean anything. But it was like one little altercation that we had, and it was over something really petty. And I don't know what make people do that, but I guess that's life. So yes, and the answer your questions. Oh God, no, these is back pains, honey. These is chronic back pains that all bother me. When you see me making them faces, those are chronic back pains. I be trying not to make those faces. Well, thank you. I'm trying because you know what? This time, you remember I told you this time when I get on there, I'm not gonna do what they call maintenance. Remember I said that you have to go back and watch the video, so I would try not to repeat everything because when y'all be asking me these questions, it's like I be answering y'all questions and then when I go back and I be like, okay, I don't answer that question so many times, and then so that's why I be like, okay, wait a minute, I don't say the same thing in that video, I don't say the same thing in that video, I don't say the same thing in this video. But no, this decision, let me tell y'all, okay, for real, let me tell y'all something. And I promise y'all, this happened. Um, I don't even know why I would have really started, but you know how they just say go ahead and start. So remember I was telling y'all about the older lady. She had told me, she had mentioned it to me, and I was like, "Oh no, ma'am, no, 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 ma'am." That's what I was saying. I don't even cuss in front of my oldest sister. I was like, "Oh no, ma'am, I love it," Now, 2013. No, let's go back a little further. Let's go back a little further. I say around, and you know what? I would switch up the years, but I'm not. I'm just gonna go ahead and with the actual years. So 2000 and it was around 2004. I knew what was going on. I almost lost my place, but I almost lost my place behind somebody else. And I'm not gonna just fault that person because I'm held accountable too because you know you know the wrongs, the do's, the don'ts, and the pros and the cons, what you're supposed to do and what you don't supposed to do. Actually, I had somebody that was there with me, and at that particular time I was on, because it was like the early 2000 anyway. At that particular time I was on what they call low income. So, and that's why I say anybody that's ashamed to say it, don't. Because me and my best friend, we was talking about this. We was talking about this when I was at her house. Don't be ashamed to say that you was on low income. Don't be ashamed to say that you was on Section 8. Please don't, because everybody got to start up from somewhere. You'd rather have that. And like this lady told me before, and that's what I love about this other lady. This lady told me before, she said, because and I'm gonna get off into that about the therapist, because it was a lady that she's a therapist, and she told me, she said, one thing about you, she said, with you working and with your income, she said, you knew that they was going, because at that time they weren't even asking for, what is it, they weren't even asking, certain places weren't even asking for the 3 and 4 times of your income for the master rent. And I was renting at the time. They weren't even asking for that. The only thing that they was asking is you had to make sure you have an income. Because it was one place that I had went and applied for, and at that time I didn't have no income. And they said that I had to have something coming in. Because at that time I didn't have nothing. I had the good Lord, but I didn't have nothing. The Just long as I had a job, which I was already working, but I didn't really want to let them know. Thank you, I appreciate it. So it was like several people that had stayed with me, but this is one particular person that didn't supposed to been staying with me, and the owner of the company, I'm not gonna call the company name, they got in contact with this particular family member, and I probably told y'all this before. When they got in contact with the particular family member, they had told the particular family member, because I was working and then I was in school, and they told them for me to get in contact with them because they said that I could get evicted, and they was going to report me to the housing authority, and I could lose everything. Well, I was already in the process of moving from that particular area. I was already in the process of moving from that place. Because one, I needed something. I, I needed something bigger because of the stuff that I kept accumulating, you know. And when I had already moved to the place, it was already, but bless God, I didn't know that I was gonna get something bigger than what I was looking for. Cause the next place that I had moved to, I didn't expect that for real. All I know, I was just trying to be closer to another family member, which was my brother. I was trying to be closer. I was trying to, cause him and his well, he had his own, which he still do. He was I was just trying to move. Like, I didn't know they was gonna put me like not next door, but they put me near him. But we were so close to each other. The only thing was is I had moved to a different area, and not like a different area, but it wouldn't even, like, if I needed something or wanted him to do something for me, all I had to do was just go like 3 houses down from him. So, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all. I don't know why I did. And these is the signs. So these are some signs I want to tell y'all about. And I look back and I reflect back, and I'd be like, okay, you know what? God was trying to tell me something. But me, that's why I say I'm not gonna fault that person because I know, that's why I always say everything that I did it to myself. Everything that I did it to myself. I'm not gonna fault that person or hold that person accountable for something that I knew better. I end up coming home one day. I went to go visit over to my parents' house. This was in this was in 2013. Now y'all remember what happened to me February the 14th of 2013. The diagnosis. We just gonna y'all go back to watch the videos. Y'all will see. Y'all know. And if y'all be on the live, y'all that be on the live, y'all know. I don't go live often like that. I need to start. But I really don't go live often like that for real. I don't know why. It just not me. And I barely make these videos for real. So, cause sometimes they be in my phone and it takes me a minute to upload them, and I don't know why it takes me a minute to upload them. But back to the subject, y'all. Let me tell y'all something. It's just like a relationship that I was in a long time ago, long time ago, and this particular person that was with me, they had got into it with the other person. Now I just saw this person the other day. They had got into it over something, but anyway, make that long story short, y'all know that's God was trying to tell me something, and I'm not gonna sit up here and say that I'm one of those that always have been obedient to God's word, but I try to be. And just because like I told somebody, just because I read my Bible every day, don't mean that I'm sitting up here living by my Bible every day, acting like, oh, well, you know what, I don't do this and I don't do that, because honey, I party, I go out and have fun, I enjoy myself, because I'm not saying that your head don't need to be stuck in the Bible, but I know some people that be like, oh, I don't go nowhere but the church and grocery store and the doctor office and I read my Bible. No, it's just like, I'm not gonna say who said it, but it was a pastor that said it. I'm not gonna say which pastor that said it. You can keep on sitting there with your head stuck between your legs and act like you don't go nowhere, and ice cream truck will come and hit you some kind of way. The pastor said it, because that don't mean that you don't have fun. That don't mean that you don't get out and enjoy yourself. Cause my son and my mama would be glad that I be getting out, because it seemed like that I didn't get out, but I got out, but I just didn't like, even like, I'm not even ashamed to say that, because I don't really drink. I don't really drink, but I sociable drink. This particular family member was staying sick a lot, but the when they were staying sick a lot, I was back and forward, but I wasn't staying there. I was back and forward. So the day that I got home, well, I had already said it, and I had already told this particular family member. I said, I believe I got to move. I said, I believe I got to move. Y'all, I'm looking over at that dog. I'm looking over at that dog. Excuse me. I'm looking over at that dog. I said, I believe I got to move. So I asked the man, how when they come out for inspections and stuff, I asked the man, I said, do I got to move? He told me, not at the time. He told me, he said, no. He said, but if, he was like, if this landlord keeps doing this right here, you might as well be looking for somewhere. So me, in the meantime, what I did, I had started looking, because I was like, okay, now you know what, you got such and such to do this, you got such and such. And the landlord, was doing what they supposed to be doing, but then the landlord had got some new help that was slacking. Y'all, when I got back home, I had been gone for over a week. FedEx coming. I got some packages coming. I mean, not Fed, no, wait a minute, FedEx is out there. Okay, hold on, y'all. So sorry about that. So I had been gone for over a week, but I had been back and forth, like checking on the place. And I really didn't have to go back and forth with checking on the place because everybody got stuff where you can see when you're away from home. So I had went back to check the mailbox. And I was like, okay, I went back to check the mailbox, go back to get me some clothes because I was going to come back. Yeah, well, but I got a letter in the mailbox, and this was in November of 2013. I got a letter in the mailbox saying that I had to move. When I tell you that I was so excited about that letter because I was ready to move, but I wasn't ready to move. And this is why I say this right here. Let me tell you something. This goes for family and all, and I ain't putting nobody down. And even my friend and family. I got on the phone. I called them. I asked them was they busy. They told me no. They said, what's that? I said, I got to move. I said, I'm trying to see what you ready to help me move. Oh, baby, they got busy. When I tell you they got busy. When I tell you they got busy, I said to myself, oh, hell, if no. I said, Lord, when I get up out of this situation, I will not let nobody else stay with me. I was like, Lord, if it ain't my child, my immediate family, my mama, my daddy, I said, Lord, when they get past my nieces and nephews, they can't come and stay. They can't even come and spend the night. I mean, I was just that freaking mad because everybody was staying with me. And when it was time for me, could nobody reciprocate the favor back. Not that I was looking for you to do a favor. And then you know what makes it so bad? I was paying the people what makes it so bad. So I end up getting on the phone. I called my mama and my daddy. Y'all wouldn't believe who came through. Believe it or not, the good Lord, my mama, daddy, my brother, and my son. Them was the ones that came through. My mama said, she said, give me a few minutes. She said, let me round up some people. I don't know how she did it. Baby, I don't know how her and my daddy done it. But when I tell you, they rounded up some folks. So I was already on the phone talking to, what is it, motivator movers. I was already on the phone. So they had told me, they said, because then this is what makes it so bad. The same people, they came by, they started leaving messages. Oh, tell her I was gonna move her. Oh, I was gonna charge her less than what she would have paid with them. But when I tell you that my mom and my dad and my brother drove that doggone U-Haul truck. Because, see, I'm 4'11", but I could drive it too. But the one that they had got was like a little bigger. And so when I tell you that we got this stuff did because I was at that particular time, I was in a bigger place, and I had more bathrooms, and I had more. I had accumulated so much of stuff, but then I already knew because half of the stuff I had brought with me. Anyway, so they told me, they said I had less than 7 days. They said, so when I went, they told me I had to come to the office. I had to do all the papers and sign the papers and do all this. So you know how you have to do. I end up, instead of me putting my stuff in the storage, my mom and dad they still got it. They had like, what is them, about 3-4 storages, that's built in on the side of their house. End up putting all my stuff in there. You know what, y'all, this is why I say what I say. And I know sometimes, this is my thyroid messing with me for real. And I keep looking up towards the dog, and then somebody keep coming. I end up got the got into found the place within less than 7 days. Less than 7 days. It's because my brother was moving back to Chicago. He had got a job in Chicago, and he had already found him a place up there in Chicago. So he had told me, and I thought my brother was joking. My baby brother, I thought he was joking, because he was like, you something about ready to move me into, and I was like, I already got a place. I already got a place. I was like, it's gonna be upstairs. I was like, it's gonna be upstairs. Now he was thinking the outside was gonna be upstairs. I was like, no, the inside is upstairs. You got to take my washer and dryer up inside. Once you go inside, you got to take my washer and dry up the stairs, because it was like what they call it, townhome, like a condo, whatever you call it. Boy, that made him mad. That made him. And then I know I didn't supposed to take no upstairs anyway, or get into no place with no upstairs because of my health. That was the main reason of us. That was the main reason of me and my friend was moving. But see, my friend didn't know that I was moving. It's that when my friend had left, he didn't know where I was moving. And then I actually didn't want him to know at the particular time, because I really didn't want, as you know, that was the same friend that I had almost lost the place behind. That's why I said I don't want to just say that it was him, because it was me too, because he didn't supposed to be nowhere near nobody, the property, once they had done what they had done and everything. And so, y'all, when I say God was trying to tell me something, and I did not know what God was trying to tell me, I went on and I took that place. I signed the paperwork. So within less than a year, I had asked this particular landlord, I had asked him, what did I have to do as far as, because what was it? He was supposed to have been giving me a paper, and he's supposed to have been turned it in what these places had came available. Where I went, where it was gonna be just like a flat, and where the inside wouldn't have the upstairs and the downstairs. Where I would have to go into the washer room and stuff. Yeah. Why I just couldn't listen to God? Cause let me see something. This the science was there. The science was there. So as I go, I get in my car and I drive to the office. I'm looking at the ladies, the black ladies, and the black owner, that owned the place, the man. It was three black men and two black ladies. I'm looking at them. In their face, they looking at me straight in my face. I'm on the phone with the landlord, and I'm saying, they said they haven't got the paper yet. What? But this would tee me off, y'all. This is what tee me off. He literally tells me on this phone call, and that's why I said I try not to do stuff like that, but I needed my proof. I needed, when I needed mine. This the same thing that I did when somebody was trying to tell a tale on me. And I felt like I felt like it was going to blow up, or somebody was going to go back and tell that tale. And I didn't know how to do all that to a friend of mine. It was like, oh, this is what you got to do. And actually, she had done it for me. And I'm not going to say who she was that done it, because everybody going to start trying to figure out who it is. But some of y'all know. I didn't even know how to put nobody on speaker for real. Because, I didn't know how to work them whatever you call them, touch stone phones or something. Yeah, when I say I'm looking at them straight in the face, and they looking at me, and they was like, all he got to do is just fax it over. We haven't got anything. So I'm like, they say they haven't got it. He said, oh, Oh, I put on there that you wanted to go to another unit, but you didn't want the upstairs and the downstairs inside the condo, that you just wanted one of our flats. And I put on there which number it was. Now this is the tale that he's telling me. He said, and I let them know that you got health problems, and I let them know there was a purpose. So while I'm standing there and I'm talking to the lady said he didn't have to put all that on there. She said, but we haven't got anything. She said, but tell him to fax it on. I said, well, they said fax it now. I said, because I'm standing right here while you fax it. He said, oh, I just faxed it. So that really teed me off, because knowing that I'm standing there and you a landlord, but you literally just basically lied about the whole situation. And I'm like, okay, well, because one, facts, even if you send an email, facts gonna get right there, right then and there. So I walked on up. I walked on up out of there like, okay. But I was like, okay. I tell you what. I said, my lease is about to be up. He said, you want to move? I said, I don't want to move. I am gonna move. I said, because you keep telling, I'm like, I'm trying to catch myself. I'm like, he was like, oh, I sent it in. You don't have to convince me that you sent something in that you did not send nothing in when I was standing right there. Now, we all done some wrong and we all don't lie. But you don't have to, because one thing about them, I know that they weren't going to lie. And I'm standing right there. And I know one thing about them, they don't play. Because they was the one that was paying a portion for you for me and my child. So I know that they weren't gonna lie. They passed on by. The year passed on by. I end up. It wasn't even I just stayed there just that 1 year. So before that year, I had already got my stuff out. I had already found the place. I had y'all let me tell you something. I had found the place. But this one place that I was telling y'all about, that I thought that I had, because they was trying to help me find a place. This one place, the lady told me, she said, which y'all know, I don't like to talk about the feelings and stuff like that. I don't, but the feeling is, yeah, I do regret it. But I don't let my past determine my future. So, that's why I say everybody makes mistakes, everybody do stuff, and I'm not saying that, but like my mama always told me, if you keep making them same mistakes over and over, something wrong somewhere up there. But that one mistake, you make that one mistake, it's all right to make that one mistake, you can try to correct it. But half of y'all know what the feeling it was for. So, I mean, I went, yeah, I strayed away. Now, I did. I strayed away from God, and I know better. And I wish I hadn't strayed away from God. But I learned, because I asked God to show me some stuff. And when God showed it to me, I just was, I'm not going to say that. I think it was more that I seen it, but I didn't want to accept what God was showing me. And so that was on my own. As again, I said, I seen it. Because when I prayed and asked God to show it to me, God showed it to me. And I think that I just didn't want to accept it because of what would happen and what would be said. And I think, like, I'm used to rejection. And when he showed it to me, but God had to bring me back down to tell me, I heard a voice. It's like, he had to tell me, you my child. Now it's time for you to sit down and listen to me. You see, and I learned, when I learned, he had to tell me that. I showed you just what you asked me for, but you got to sit down and listen to me. So God had to sit me down. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I did not expect this. This lady told me, and and I'm not gonna tell y'all that it don't hurt, because I was so doggone mad when I put in for this place. And my best friend, she said, why is you putting in for all those places? Girl, you spending out too much money. You spending out too much money. So I had end up, because they had told me, the ladies that I was telling you about, they had told me about this other place. And I was like, okay. Because for a minute, I was going to try to move closer to my mom and daddy. For a minute, I was going to try to, like, okay, well, you know what? I want to be closer to them so that way. But then, I was like, oh, I could just jump in my car and go, go see about them. Because I would go see about my mom and dad at, like, 5 and 6 times a day. And my mama, she would tickle me. She'd be like, I know when you got a full tank of gas, because you would come over here and stay, and then you would be going like you ain't no business. And so I'd be like, okay. And then I'd be like, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. Like, I was telling somebody about what my dad had put me, like, on this road. And I was like, And I was like, no, because I'm so, like, if I don't have some medicine, I like to stay on the right side of the road and drive, like, what they call it, the slow lane. But this particular day, I went, my daddy was coming from the doctor. Boy, you talking about somebody chest about to fall through the floor. Oh, you missed the time when my sister, she made me nervous. I was all on the wrong side of the road. I child. Now I'm gonna tell y'all about it. Oh, excuse me. Oh yeah, that's funny. Oh yeah, that's funny. I told somebody about that. What I shared that with that about when I was pregnant and my sister. Oh yeah, honey. Which one? The video? Look, I got to get back off into the video, but when you said that, my sister knew. She knew, but talking about when I was pregnant, child, I couldn't fool her. I tried my best. My oldest sister, I tried my best to fool her. And I laughed about the situation, and then I tried to keep her. Honey, that's funny that you said that. But I can't even finish this without laughing at you, because it's so funny that you said that. I forgot all about I had said that, because they, you know what? I think we all did some. I think we all did some crazy stuff. And what you just text me for? Oh yeah, my brothers. Honey, I'm gonna tell you about that, because I think I did do a video about my brothers. They fooled me. Both of them had fooled me. They know they was they know they was wrong. And so this other place, when I went back to, because you making me mad, back to what I was saying. When I got to this other place, I didn't know. The lady ended up calling me. All I know, I was just praying like, Lord, let me get this place. Lord, let me get this place. Lord, once I get this place, I ain't gonna go nowhere. Lord, I ain't gonna go nowhere. I end up going to, the lady end up, because the other lady told me, she said, once a feeling, always a feeling. And no, and even though the feeling, it was, and she was one of us, so I didn't even worry about it. I was like, okay, I ain't gonna say that I didn't cry, because I did cry. But the other lady, she ended up calling me. She said, and she told me what my deposit was. She told me about the first 2 months rent. She told me about the proration part. She told me. So at that particular time, my deposit was a little bit over $1,000. Then, along with them 2 months rent, it's a little bit over $1,000. Still a little bit over $1,000. I get down there to go pay this lady, and she said, when are you planning on moving in? She told me about when, what's gonna pick up when. I said, yes, ma'am. Y'all, let me tell you something. And I'm not just saying this just to be saying this. Little did I know. So, I'm not gonna say my friend, because he's really my guy. I'm not gonna say he's my friend. I thought he was sending money home for himself. I thought that's what he was doing. So I didn't touch it. He know normally that if I touch something, I would say that I need this or I need that. I didn't touch it. So all of a sudden I get a phone call from him saying, because he'll call me by my name. Sometimes he'll call me baby. He'll say, what that is. And be like, what? What is what? Then, he told me, he said, did you check, he said, did you check the, what was it? The card, the bank card. I said, no, for what? I'm like, no. For what? Knowing that because my mind wasn't even on focusing on no bank card or nothing. He's like, Wells Fargo. I said, no, I ain't going to no doggone Wells Fargo. That's what I need to go there for. He was like, I'm seeing something by there. And he was like, and I'm gonna put the rest in your hand. I said, put what in my hand? What is because at this time, all I'm focusing on is the move. That's all I'm focusing on. And I'm focusing on who gonna move me. And then I'm like, okay, I don't need everybody coming around telling me that they gonna move me. I don't need that. So it was really my daddy and my brother friend that had moved me. So my brother was like, tell such and such. I said, oh, no. I said, because I don't want that particular person to know. Which they just about had an idea where I was going to. I was like, oh, no. So me and a friend of mine, we had ended up moving like the boxes and stuff. But we did it late, of course we did it late at night. So when my guy put the money on the card and he said something about another card, he calls me, he said, that's for the get everything turned on, and that's for the deposit for the place, he said. And then so I was like, I said, now you want to see a receipt, huh? Because we always joke with each other. So now my mom and dad, they paid for, they helped me. That's what I'm saying. My mom and dad, and I'm not saying for nobody, because I know I got family on here. I know I got family that would come through, and I always have had this problem when I was in school. Even when I was coming up there, people thought that we was rich. I don't know why, but I have always said, no, girl, what is you texting me for? I see it. I saw what you just said. I saw what you just said. And I saw what you just said. I end up, like, my daddy, I think he had to go to the doctor, and it was his copay, and it was something else he had to pay on a bill. He ended up, and I'm not gonna say he snuck and gave me the money, but he ended up. And so when I got ready to pay my dad back the money, he told me, he said, I know you need your money. He said, you just pay me when you can. He said, you don't have to be. He said, because one thing about it, he said, you will come and try to pay me. He said, you attempt. He said, you don't dodge it. So I thought that was just so cute and fun. I was like, no. Because even though when it came to the storages and stuff, I thought it was funny though. Not like that funny, because because I don't ask when it get past, I might ask my guy or something, but that's rare. That's rare when I ask him. But cause I'd be like, can you give me $80? Can you give me $100 or something? And then if it's something that I know that I need, I send him a copy and tell him what I need it for, and I show him how much it is. And then he'll just be like, yes. And then when I tell him I'm gonna pay him back, my guy be like, you don't have to pay me back. And I'll be like, no, we ain't finna do this. But yeah, when I got up there to that landlord office, this particular landlord office, so instead of me, how like you can move at the last of the month, or how sometimes they want you to wait and move the almost to the beginning of the month. So I moved during the middle of the month. Like it was around like the 8th of the month when I had moved out. So they charge you like a prorated. Y'all, I got up there to this lady landlord's office, finds it. Her and her mama and her father in there, in there together. What but the 2 months rent, she had knocked that 1 month rent off. What but that prorated rent? Do you know this lady took the prorated rent out of her pocket and paid it for me? Y'all, I couldn't thank God enough. I could not thank God enough. And yeah, like a big dummy, I was honest with my guy. Like a big dummy, I was honest with him, and I told him. And my friend was like, "Good, you shouldn't have told him." I was like, "But I didn't, I didn't." I was like, "Girl, no, I'm not finna do that." So the landlord told me. She said the, like the water, the gas, the lights was still in her name. And you know how they give you, like, what is it, 14 days to get it in your name? I had it turned on in my name, but I had to start all over with Alabama Power. I had to start all over with Alagasco due to the fact that the place that I had moved from, it's, I had the lights and the gas had turned off. They had ended up sending me a check, but then by me putting in for all of those places there, I never did remind y'all that I told y'all that I had tried to get them other places, and they kept failing the inspection. They kept doing a whole lot of other stuff. You have to go back and watch the other stuff. And that's why I said some of the stuff I don't want to keep repeating it, but I don't mind repeating it. But you have to go back and watch the other videos, and you'll see what stuff kept feeling, and why kept feeling. The city kept saying this, and the county kept saying this in these different places, and all that kind of stuff. And they was like, "Okay, we're not gonna let you stay in a place like this. We're not gonna let you do, we're not gonna let you do this." And it was getting frustrated. It was getting real, real frustrated. When I got so, yeah, Alabama Power. Something had to be going on with my credit at the time, but they said it wasn't. I had to end up paying Alabama Power, and my mama paid it for me. She did it, Alabama Power, to get my lights turned on in the new place was $450, and to get my gas turned on, there was a zero down payment for me to get my gas turned on. But to get my water turned on, because I in the transfer, they don't do the, what is it, like the transferring of the water no more. In this particular area where I was, they don't do the transferring of the water. They do the transferring of the water, but it's like you got to bring your paper now to show them that you at that place. Now, I don't know what they had going on. So I had to end up, which my mom and dad, they helped me with that. So it was like two something with that. So that's why I said it was too much. That's why I said I believe. I'm not gonna say I believe. I just feel like that God was trying to show me something. I believe like God was trying to. I believe God was really trying to tell me something at the time, and I just wasn't like. You know how you see the signs that God showing you and telling you, but I just wasn't, because I think I was more in a space where, one, I'm a private person. Two, I can do like I want to do. Three, I can, and so much was happening to I should have just said something, but I didn't. And really, I shouldn't have never said. I didn't even say anything. What I should have did is just pick them up. But when I got in that place, I didn't have no problem. Now, I never had no problems. I don't know where I say that. Maybe one, and I really didn't even have no problem out of the last place for real. To be honest with you, the thing is just the person just was mad because I wouldn't have nothing to do with them for real. But I felt like, excuse me, that I didn't, excuse me, that I didn't need to have nothing to do with that person due to the fact. Oh Lord, excuse me, I got to give me some water. I don't hang with nobody that's younger than my children, and then I don't hang with my child. I don't hang with nobody that's younger than my child. I don't hang with nobody that's almost near the same age as my child. I don't need to be around my son and his friends. So what make you think I want to hang with a person that's younger than me? You know, like if you somewhere near my age, that's cool. But like if you my child age, or you younger than my child age, it's nothing that I need to be around you for. You know, and this particular the only thing was with this particular person, they just kept knocking at the door and I wouldn't come to my door. And so when I went out of town, they didn't know that I was going out of town till I came back. And, you know, I don't never I really don't never post when I'm out of town. I don't really post when I'm going out of town. And then like my workout videos, when y'all see my workout videos, that's what I was saying. My workout videos, I really don't even post my workout videos no every day. I don't post but I hold myself accountable. When I go to the gym, it don't always be the same gym as I said. And then when I do my workout, I don't post my workout immediately. Sometimes it be 2 weeks before I post that workout. So it will make it look like that I had just been. Sometimes it be every now and then it might be 3 or 4. Every now and then it might be 3 or 4 days. Just like this video right here. Let's see. I got some more videos that I was gonna drop. So the the other place that I was staying at, like I said, my neighbor, she took with me. She she got 3 boys, and she still is. She's more like she'll tell you she more like a girly tomboy. So one of my friends, they was kind of scared. They was kind of scared of her. I was like, no. But me and her, the whole time that she had been staying right there, and she had been staying there for over 14 years, and she was like she had never been to those 2 restaurants, and I was eating out every single day. But I cook, but then for some reason I started just eating out every single day because I was just getting lazy, and I was like, okay. And then I would go to the grocery store and buy the stuff, and then that's when y'all would see me doing the live and everything, doing the cooking. But when I that's why I said I did like the reviews. I don't want to do the reviews of the restaurants. I don't want to do the reviews of places because due to the fact that's not my goal. Because that's, to me, I don't want to do what nobody else doing. I just want to do what Faith is doing. I just want to, like, now when I do the cooking videos, I be doing the cooking videos because of the healthy, holding myself. And when I be doing the workout videos, I be doing it for my self. Okay, so why you texting me? You know what? Me and you finna have it out. We beefing for real, cause you know better. We beefing for real. I can't even finish the video without laughing at you. And I say is this, y'all, because y'all know this video gonna continue. Y'all know this video is gonna continue over to the next one. But anyway, y'all, to make this short for right now, because me and my baby sister is about to have it out. It's like the decision that I made. This lady asked me, she said, how do you feel? I said, for some reason, I feel more at peace. I feel so happy. She told me, she said, that's because you're doing what God wants you to do, and you're doing what. And I said, I don't know. I said, I don't know. I said, I've been trying. I've been trying. I said, but I wish I had made the decision a long time ago. And so it's funny that when we said something about it, and I was standing up, and two of the ladies, one of the ladies, the older lady, she said, "Oh, she should have did this a long time ago." Because I was telling them that this older lady, I should have listened, because like and the reason that I say that is because for a minute it was like tough. I'm not talking about like financially tough. I'm talking about like the place that I had got it in. Like I was like, dang, that fourth place, and you know what? And that's why I said that fourth place. When I got that letter, when my stuff was in the storages the side of my mom and dad house, that's when I should have just left everything alone right then and there. But no, I had faith. I had to get back out there. Faith had to get back out there. Faith got back out there in less than 7 days. And then when I had moved, I ended up moving again within less than a year. Then when I moved again, I stayed in that particular place. I stayed in that particular place for a good 6 years, and it was more like 8 though, but I'm gonna say 6. I stayed in that place. I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. I love that place. The thing was, is just that the black guy, he was a worker, and I had just got free. When I say I had just got free, and I was my neighbors, we looked out for each other and everything. And if somebody seen something, they would tell us, oh, somebody been there. And that particular place, and I was like, okay, well, I am I close to my parents? But I wouldn't know what but a hop and a skip from. I wouldn't really know what but a hop and a skip from my parents and stuff. And then my son job, I wasn't even too far from my son job. And it was just like if I needed to go somewhere, I could just go right around the corner to my son job. I wouldn't even that far from his job. So the place, they wasn't going the lady wasn't gonna sell it, but the guy, the ownership, he don't even own the place no more. And everybody end up like buying it like how we bought it now. Everybody end up buying it because you had the option to continue to stay there, or you had the option to buy it, or you had the option to let somebody else get it. If you know somebody else that wanted it, you can do that. But then it was a situation where they was going back and forth. And the man, he know who had done it. But that city man, when I tell y'all I had just got free, and I never will forget it, it was May the 24th at exactly 9:45 a.m. So the black man, he told me, he said, baby girl, he said, I'm gonna be honest with you. He said, we ain't doing that, because I started smelling the dust, and I didn't know what was going on with me, and I started smelling everything. He said, baby girl, he said, I'm gonna be honest with you. He said, we ain't doing nothing but patching. He said, he ain't doing nothing but hiking this up. He said, if I was you, I said, well, I wanted to. I said, but I don't think I was like, I don't think I need to. I was like, because man, that's gonna do all of this and do all that, do all that. So I was like, okay, the older lady that was upstairs from me, me and her, we had sat out on the porch and we had talked. She passed. She passed. I was trying to move before she passed. I was like, okay. So when her daughter saw me, I didn't never ask her daughter how was her mama doing, and I'm glad I didn't ask her daughter how her mama was doing. All I can hear her saying was, mama is so crazy about her and mama, ooh, she about the only one that come over here, and somebody else will ask about mama. That's all I would hear her saying. And so when she came and told me, she said, I had just got home. She said she had been to my house to let me know that her mama had just passed. Y'all, when I tell y'all that broke my heart, that broke my heart. I was like, okay, I was trying to get on up out of here before this, because I felt like if that lady had a pass, and if I was there, that it was gone. Because I was like, Lord, I ain't trying to get close to, me and the lady was real close, but I was like, I ain't trying to get close. And the lady had 9 kids. And I was like, I ain't trying to get close to nobody. Because it seemed like when I be close to a person, and we know this lady, and she was a elder lady, especially of them older people, I didn't want to go through where I was, you know how sometimes you just go into like a rut because you feel so close to the person and all you got is just good memories and laughing and stuff. 'Cause me and this lady, we sat out on the porch late at night. We sat up and we was, and her daughter was her daughter went to go get her some stuff and she had other kids and she she was like, I'm worried about her in that car because that car, she didn't want the car to cut off on her daughter. And she was like, the car was barely making it, but her daughter got 3 boys and she was trying to make sure that her mama and make sure that everybody, everybody was okay. So finally, I was already packing up anyway. I was already packing up and stuff, leaving way before she had passed, but I just didn't want to be there because I had just lost a friend to a friend of mine. I had been seeing her sister at the store, and her sister had told me that her sister was in the hospital and her sister wanted to see me, and I went to go see her though. Anyway, when I went to go see her, she was surprised that I had came to see her, and I was like, because she thought I was still mad at her. No, I'm not mad, because sometimes people do stuff when they sick, and sometimes people don't realize the stuff that they be doing when they sick. So as I thought I was finna get into this other place, y'all, when I tell y'all, I thought I was finna get into this other place. Okay, so I don't even want to say what year it is. I'm just gonna bypass and say what year it is. I'm not gonna say it. I went to go see this landlord, this company, and all of a sudden he let me look at one of the units. I said, "Oh no, I can't take that big old place." Had an on-site wash and dry. I was like, okay, well, no, I want to get rid of no wash and dry because the on-site laundry, that's fine. So then it was me, my mom, and my son. We went to look at that place. Then the second time was with me and my dad. I went to show my dad what it was and the place. And I was like, okay, so this is what I was thinking about. If I got on this place, maybe, if my car went out, if one of my cars went out, I can at least catch the bus. That's what I was thinking. Didn't know that the bus routes had got so short. Didn't know that them bus routes had got so short. Not at all. I didn't even know that. So I was like, okay, well, all I had to do was just go right there to catch the bus. Y'all got back, get a phone call. I didn't know. Oh no, you can't take that because that buzz, they got big old cockroaches coming out the door. Can't even get in the door. Then some about the ceiling, the light coming down was down well. Something about your head. Couldn't take that. So the man told me, he said, I can't believe he was like, he couldn't believe he got written up for that. He can't believe that yada yada this happened, yada yada that happened. And and the people spoke good about him and everything. Um, the black people, they spoke real good about him. And he couldn't believe that they had written him up for that. And he couldn't believe that it didn't take. So I guess on the phone, by that time, my best friend, she ended up calling me. She was thinking that I was already in the place. And I said, no. I said, I'm not in. I said, no, I'm not in there. So I told her where I was staying at. So remind you, this done been over 3 months. So I was like, okay, well, what gonna happen? What gonna happen? So I said, girl, I don't lost out on that money. I was like, what do I supposed to do? She said, no. She said, if you didn't move in, I said, I didn't. I said, I'm still in the same place. So I get on, instead of me just getting on the phone, I go down there and see him face to face, like, okay. And so he told me that he'll give me my deposit back. He said, but he didn't have the money in there then, and he didn't have the checks. And so I was like, okay, cool. So I'm like, okay, I done lost out again. I goes again. So he has the check for me, which was like, I waited like 4 days because I'm still in the uproar. Then this other friend telling me about another place. I was like, okay, I know about this place because I know that's the worst place to stay in. And and back in the day it was real, real bad. I end up, so my friend was like, oh, well, they about the $200 off her rent for about 4 months or 2 months or however that was. That they was, I don't forget how many months it was. Shoot, I did the video, but I don't forget how many months it was that, if she refers somebody. Gets over there, the lady, the place, she shows me the place. She said, oh, we got to go clean it out. We got to go do this. We got to go do that. So I go back. The place was not cleaned out at all. So she was like, okay, you got to have this, you got to have that. Then, so the date that I was moving in, she then calls me and tells me that it's another place on another side that she had in what they said. I'm like, what? I didn't. So that's why I said these is the signs. And so really I had went over 4 months past my date that I actually supposed to been going over. And that's why I say, y'all, these was the signs to me that God was trying to tell me that ain't no need of me keep doing, being where I was. And I had this situation at this one particular place. And this is how I say this. You know how you're private and your parents don't know that you're doing this and your parents don't know what you're doing. We can tell our parents one thing and, we can hide. So one particular day, I was waiting on some mail to come. And the particular, I was waiting on some, what they call them, seat covers to come from my truck. So I had called somebody and asked somebody, would you get, tell them that I got a FedEx coming and would they get it off now? The other person that I had called was the person that was right there by me. They told me they would sleep, so I didn't even worry about them. They told me they would sleep. So the other person was the one that was like, okay, I get it for you and yada yada this, yada yada that. So I paid that person. But the other person was like, okay, if I see it, I get it. But they didn't never get it. It was the person on the other side of me that had ended up getting it, and they sent me a message and told me that they got it. So I ended up, they told me, they was like, oh no, that's too much, that's too much. I was like, no, that's fine. I appreciate you getting this package for me. And they was like, oh, I wouldn't take it if I didn't need it. But no, I just appreciate them getting the package. So by that time, I had got another phone call about, oh, you got something on your porch waiting on you. They was like, oh, you got any groceries and something